How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, the hump of the day.
Indeed.
It's 7 p.m. Hopefully by now you are all settled in. Hopefully the kids are done with their homework. You can just kind of relax for a little bit. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you have your pen and paper ready.
Indeed.
We hope you have your boo parked next to you, because this is definitely a conversation for the two of you. I think you're really going to get a lot out of this. We're Tristen and CC, your host of Sitting with the Suttons, where we are all about
making marriage great again.
So tonight's topic, we're going to jump right into it, because there's a lot of really good information that I feel that we can share with you, especially from our own personal experiences. As you know, Tristen is a full-fledged entrepreneur. How long have you been an entrepreneur? Yeah, times two now. Tell them what you do.
I own an insurance agency here in Houston, where this November actually will make my 8th year of entrepreneurship.
That went that fast.
It did. All right. We only been married 10 years. So I've been putting you through this for almost a decade. Ooh, bless your spirit.
Bless my entire spirit.
So I also own a consulting agency called Tristen Sutton Consulting. I help small businesses and entrepreneurs. So tell them about you, CC.
Well, I am just, y'all know me.
She like Tommy from Martin.
Don't be like that. I'm what you call a Renaissance woman. Some of you do call me Tommy from Martin, and a lot of you all ask me all the time, what the heck do you do? Like, I mean, you do a lot, but what do you do? And by trade, 9 to 5, I am in the HR field. I have a great company that I work for, but my passion that you hear me and see me do so much on Facebook is blogging, speaking, women's empowerment, just really all about helping women connect with their purpose.
And their natural hair.
And their natural hair. But I am really about helping women rediscover themselves, because what happens so many times is we go off and we get married and we just immediately start pouring ourselves into our husbands, our children. And before we even realize it, we have completely lost who we are.
Absolutely.
So tonight's conversation is really for that woman and that man, but I'm speaking to the woman who is really thinking about, you know what, I know I have so much more purpose. I know that there's a company, a business that I would love to start, but I'm definitely afraid because benefits and all that stuff is so good right here where I am.
Oh, indeed.
So this message is for you. I encourage you to, after this conversation tonight, sit down with your spouse and really have that heart to heart and let him know your dreams and what you aspire to do. Now is the time to chase after that.
Absolutely. Get your lace your running shoes up. It's time to run.
We get ready to run tonight. Yeah. So again, we want to just jump right into it. Yeah. This topic I blogged about probably about a year ago, right around the time when I did Simply CC Live.
Indeed.
I launched Simply CC, my company, and I remember just during that time reflecting on how far Tristen and I have come with our different endeavors and dreams and things of that nature. And one thing that I've always appreciated about this guy is he has allowed me to grow.
Indeed. And you've allowed me to grow as well.
Have I?
You have.
I hope so. And I hope that you have found me to be instrumental in your growth. But I will say wholeheartedly, the fact that he has been there and been supportive of me has played a very, very big part in my growth. So, you know, your spouse needs you now more than ever, especially if you're at a time where you're ready to pursue purpose. Yes, so again, you know, all up and down our timelines, I see so many of us doing great things. We're starting businesses. Entrepreneurs are taking it to the next level. But some of us are right there at ground zero trying to figure out, I know I want to do it, but I'm scared to do it.
Indeed.
And here's 3 reasons why.
Tell them all three reasons. Reasons why
couples struggle with going through change. Number 1, it's the fear of change.
Yep. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I mean, you know, we say it loosely, but really, honestly, I get it. Change is hard. Change is hard, especially when you have a lot of people depending on you, whether that be your children, extended family, parents, whatever. So,
I mean, we're getting, you know, acclimated to the change of our new president. 45. Shout out to 45.
45, we're praying for you. We're praying for our nation. But change is tough. Okay. Yes, number 2, the fear of the unknown.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I could jump off and do this, but what happens?
It's an abyss out there. You don't know what kind of support you're going to have. You don't know how finances are going to be. You don't know the hours it's going to take, when you're going to hit that success benchmark, whatever that is to you. So,
yeah. And then the last one is fear of failure.
Because all we do is win. And I mean,
in real life, T. Now, see, I know you to be kind of just, hey, once you set your mind to it, you just go. But have you had have you experienced all three of these? One of these?
Yeah.
Two of these?
I definitely experienced failure a couple of times. One was an entrepreneur endeavor. The first insurance agency I started, I would say it failed. It didn't meet my expectations. It wasn't the opportunity I wanted. But before that, I got into an aspect of insurance that I was just not good at. It was the, let's just say it was the good old boy network, and I wasn't a good old boy. But I tried, gave it a year, and they gave me the courage and the opportunity and the capital to start my own business. And now I've been blessed with the success I have now. So yes, there is fear, there is failure. You know, I got our life savings riding on it, and God has blessed us. But thank you for that support. But you can make it happen. I've tried, I've failed, I've not done so great, and God has got us here. So
I'm gonna tell you something. You know, we're gonna do a flashback here. We're gonna throw it all the way back into 2007. Is that when we got married? 2007. Tristan was just with his first insurance company, and he was getting it. I mean, you were captive to that company, so he was technically an employee. And again, employees are a safe place. You know, we like that place. That's a sweet spot because you know everything. You're gonna get a paycheck at the end of the day. But I remember, like, he is getting it. You know. Let's make this happen. So when he came to me and said, I'm going to give up, you know, this over here that was doing extremely well to start his own, I was like, let's get it. I mean, he had did so well, you know, as an employee. So I figured, you know, what's the worst that can happen? He can get out there and do even better once he starts his own. So I had 100% confidence, win, lose, or draw, in this dude that he was going to make it happen, even though our life savings was wrapped up in it, you know. And that's what it takes. Wives, husbands, having that full-fledged confidence in your spouse, and not just out of hopeful bliss, but he had already proven himself. He had already been in the industry. I'd already see him do well. So I had that faith, but then the realness came.
Ooh, tell me about the realness.
And you know, we went from here, like it seemed like literally to it kind of started to scale down. And I don't really remember tripping much about it. Did I trip? Did I give you a hard time?
I think you did all right.
We had a lot of conversations, though.
Yes, we did.
We had a lot
of conversations like, so how much you spending? How much you making? Where's it going to go? Can we still go out to eat?
Right. And there were times when we had to have that conversation. Hey, we're going to have to scale back a little bit here, you know? And I understood. And really, because not so much that I had invested so much in the profession that he chose, but I had invested in his dream. And if I knew anything about this guy, he was going to make it happen. Now, we might be here one day and down here the next, but he was going to get us back up here.
Yes, indeed.
Somehow.
By the grace of God.
So by the grace of God. But there was that a little teensy fear of, okay, you know, what can happen?
There's always going to be some ambiguity when you go into something that's a new endeavor, right? You never know. Especially when you go from stable to, you know, walking on a tightrope every day. And then you have someone else depending on you for that. So that's what really can make it a challenge. But you always got to remember that your job as a spouse, wife or husband, is to support each other's dreams. Make sure that you are lifting each other up. Be sure that you're encouraging one another, because you never know the potential. You know, look at what happened if Stedman didn't stay with Oprah and support him. Look at God. Look at God.
Absolutely. That having that 100% grit faith. I mean, it's not always easy. It's a little bit easier when you got a little life savings behind you. But
when you have access to capital, it's really easy.
It is. But when you start seeing that dwindle, and we went through that period. When you start to see that dwindle, that's when that faith,
that mustard seed. Speaking of mustard seed, that mustard seed shirt you got on. That's a testimony.
You're so silly. So yeah, those are the three reasons why a lot of couples have a hard time supporting each other through change. It's the fear of change, unknown, and failure. So what's the solution? We're just gonna get right into it.
Yeah. So create an emotional space for your spouse. So what that means is make a space where they feel comfortable going through those ups and downs with you, where they can relax, relate, release with you, where they can share their concerns and share their successes, and you can be happy for them and supporting and caring for them throughout the entire ride. What do you got to say on that?
Well, you know, I'm thinking back to when I was doing my little jewelry business.
That little jewelry business? Is that what we're going to call it?
Look.
Was it the business?
Jewelry. I started it and I made some little money. I went to the little conference. Look, first of all, I have a 9-to-5. So really the little jewelry business was my little hobby. It was my therapy. It was my time to just relax, relate, release, as you say.
Indeed.
But being the true go-getter that this guy
Entrepreneur.
is, this entrepreneur that you all see in the streets, he's the exact same way at home. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I started my little jewelry business, this man came up with me, well, where's your business plan? What you going to do with it? How much money you want to make with it? How much time you going to be spending with it? Because if you're spending all this time doing it and you ain't making no money, what's the use in doing it? I'm like, wait a minute, pimping. I got a 9-to-5. This is therapy.
So what she forgets to put in there is the fact that she would spend all night, Monday through Friday, sitting there making jewelry after she get off work. So where's the time for me and the dog at?
Not even, y'all. Please do not fall for that. Because let me tell you something. It was not every night, okay? I would have my nights where I was relaxed, relating, releasing. He and the dog was on the couch watching whatever their favorite show is, whatever. I honestly did not see the problem. And to this day, I still don't see the problem, only because, now, husbands, hear me out. Your wife is not always looking to do everything to make a dollar. Everything that I've gotten into, dancing, modeling, blogging, like this man is right there. Okay, so what a business plan? What we doing?
Bands make them dance. That's what I was just trying to figure out.
Can I just live? Can I have my therapy? Again, I have a 9-to-5. I never came to this man and said I want to make a business out of all these things. These were just things that I did recreationally and that I enjoyed. So, and creating a safe place for your spouse to talk to you, it's important that you don't hem them up. They're not gonna always have.
I wouldn't say I was hemming. I was just hawing.
Y'all, well, I felt like I was being hemmed up. I felt like, when did I ever say that this was going to be a business?
So that's a good point, because if your spouse does come to you with something that they desire and they want to turn a passion into profit, somebody has said that, passion into profit.
Passion into profit. Ladies, I want to hear from you. If you had a hobby or something that you enjoy doing, and your husband came up on you like, so what are we doing here? I want to hear what that is. Yeah. Because we have hobbies. I don't know if y'all have hobbies.
Take a quick moment to shout out to our viewers. Hey, what's going on? Miss Shavonda, the org boss. She says that face, CC. I know, right? It's that mustard seed Mac or Fenty. All right, we got Miss Tanika Lewis. That's good. Relax, relate, release with the hobby and side hustle. Yes, ma'am. So
there has to be a balance.
As long as the passion can profit, that's what I'm all about. All right, we got Mr. Jay Sneed. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. Great content. What's going on, Darian Butler? Darian Butler is a chef and a baker that makes the most ashiest food.
No, he doesn't. I got you, Darian.
What's going on, Jetty? Appreciate you always tuning in. All right. So what were we saying, ma'am?
So we were just saying that in creating this safe emotional space for your spouse to come to you and talk to you, just realize that if your spouse comes to you and says, hey, I want to start this business, it does not mean that they have all the answers. And just because they don't have all the answers about how they're going to start it or where the capital is going to come from, all this stuff, it doesn't mean that it's not a good idea.
Right.
Or it doesn't mean that your spouse hasn't really identified with the place that they're going into. It's just the beginning stage of saying, hey, I feel like this is where God is pulling me. I really need your support on this.
Yes. And so, ladies, you got to also realize that when it comes to men, we talked about this in many other episodes, men are logical, women are emotional. So you're passionate. Our logic says, where's the profit? So if you're going to take time away from your family, other endeavors, we got to understand the business plan, how you're going to execute, how much these little beads costing, what's your profit margin. So that's how our mind defaults. So don't be offended if we ask you these questions and you don't know the answers.
So in that, I think that's fair. I think that's fair for you all to ask the question, but what's not fair.
What ain't fair, baby?
Is if you start to make the person feel like, well, you ain't got your ish together. So I don't even know why you came to me with this little idea of a business that you got. That's not fair. This is an opportunity for your spouse to come to you and say, hey, here's where I am. And likely they're coming to you to say, hey, I want to hear your input, your thoughts. And that's where the time where you say, you know what? Okay, babe, well, let's start researching this. It sounds like you really want to make this happen. Let's sit down together and figure this out.
Indeed.
Not do you have this, that, and the third.
That was my fault.
Okay.
I should have did it better.
Fair enough. We live, we learn. We've been 10 years in the game. So, it takes a little practice, but we're trying to help you get ahead of the curve on this one.
Am I doing better now?
You are doing so much better.
Thank you.
All right, what's number 2?
Let them talk it out.
Okay.
All right. So like you let them walk it out, let them talk it out. So when you let them talk it out, it can be, help for those words to escape, right? Be in the atmosphere. So you can really understand what's going on in their mind. So let your spouse tell you about what they plan to do, how they want to do it, how it can change y'all's life for the greater good.
Right.
Get your input for their decision and their feelings. But then remember, offering the support is not the same as giving advice. So break that down.
I'm glad you asked. So as he mentioned a little bit earlier, men are fixers, do it. Like, don't come to me with no problem and you don't expect me to fix it.
Yeah.
But sometimes as wives, we just want to come and vent and give it to you and walk away. You don't even have to I'm taking the pressure off of you. You don't even have to have an answer or solution.
We appreciate that.
It's not quite the same. Showing support and giving advice. Now, if I come to you and say, hey, T, I really could use your thoughts around this. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's different.
It is.
But if I come to you and say, T, I just need to vent right now.
Yeah. You don't need me to give you a solution, implementation plan, strategy, SWOT analysis, all that.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Indeed. All right. So solution number 3, research their options. So this is important because as you get to go through this process together, if you're the spouse that's supposed to be supporting, you get a better understanding of what it's going to take, what all is involved.
Right.
Maybe you can give them that outside or unbiased perspective of, hey, you want to do this, but maybe if you do that, it will be more effective for what is in line with your ministry and your passion and things like that. So give the opportunity to do research together and not just let them go off on their own and then come back. But it gives you involvement. It brings you closer together as well. Right.
It does. And, it also, what happens a lot is, one spouse may think, oh, yeah, we got X amount of dollars. We're good. We're covered. But they fail to research the many, many different little nuances in there that possibly the spouse could have caught, taking the time to help with a little bit of research. So it's good to put your heads in it together. No, it doesn't mean that your spouse is necessarily going to be a part of the business, but if your spouse is an entrepreneur.
And so we're going to talk about that later, because even though the spouse's business is y'all business.
we definitely got to touch on that. And I'm going to share with you, I'm going to be real candid with you how I felt.
Go ahead, tell them how you felt. Tell them how you felt about it, girl.
So when Tristen, first started insurance, every now and then he would always, give me these little cards and flyers and be like, I need you to pass these out for me, And I'd be like, I don't recall signing up to do insurance. Maybe I missed the memo. I don't think that's what I signed up. So, naturally I would be like, okay, I don't mind doing it for you this time, but don't be looking for me to pass out business cards for you all the time, because that's not my profession. At that time I was in recruiting. So I was like, I don't ask you to go to colleges with me recruiting students. So don't ask me to pass out your cards.
Help you log in them little PDAs and wipe them off. So
you did. Touche, you did. But y'all, that was my frame of mind. I was still a single woman. We were just coming into marriage. I had to reprogram.
Yes, indeed.
But I saw it as his business. I did not see the need for me to do anything with his business. He had his own team. He got employees. You don't need me.
Yes, indeed. Gail says, say that. It's the two of y'all's business. Preach, Gail.
Gail, you preaching. And I'm on your side now, Gail. But at first, I really was not understanding how this involves me. So he had to break it down to me, CC, I'm putting our life savings into this, I'm investing all of our resources. So whether or not you sitting there 9 to 5 with me, this is our business. Yeah. And sometimes I'm going to need you to get up at 5 a.m. and do the breakfast drops at the apartments with me and, stay late at night and network with me at these different events. And, once he leveled with me and helped me to see that it was ours, I got in line.
You got in line. She got information. She did get information. But one thing y'all need to be aware of is when you're thinking it's just they business or it's my business, it's y'all business, because they're going to come and take y'all house if y'all can't pay that mortgage. They're going to come and repo one of y'all's cars or our cars if we can't get this business going to get the revenue to take care of home and the business. So it's y'all's business, even though one name might be on it or one person may be running it. So that's why that support is very crucial, because, the Bible says y'all become one. That's not just in household, it's in business ventures as well. It's just like at work. If your boss offends your spouse, you riled up, you want to go ride up to the office and
Ride or die.
Give them some good scriptures, right? That's what you want to do.
Right. You know what? I also think that's the time where you help your spouse to see the real side of the deal,
Right.
because see what happens a lot of times, we as women, when we want to start a business, we're thinking about all the niceties and things that go into it, but we have no idea.
Because everybody wants to be a boss.
Everybody wants to be a boss.
Everybody wants to be a boss.
But we have no idea what it takes. Like, what if the employees start tripping? I mean, he went through that. It seems real glamorous in the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's the time to actually research what could be the ugly side to it. So you can make a really true, educated, logical guess as to if this is what you really want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that is where next tip comes in. Hold them accountable. Tell them about holding them accountable.
Okay. Did we, okay. Well, yeah, I guess that is the next one. Holding the person accountable. So here's the deal. We all, in some shape, form, or fashion, at one point or another, will need someone to hold us accountable. And just depending on the major life change, like if it's losing weight, you might see more value in having someone there to help you.
Absolutely.
So I say that when you feel it's appropriate, nudge your spouse and make sure they're still following the plan that was laid out. Okay.
Wow.
Sometimes, once we get it started, we can get a little lackadaisical. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you're nagging them. So why you ain't got, or you said you was going to do this, or
it's 11 a.m. Why are you still on the couch in your drawers?
Right. Right. A gentle nudge would be like, hey, you signed up for this. So let's get this train moving. Yeah.
So there's always going to be trials and tribulations in entrepreneurship or any endeavor that you're about to embark upon. So that's why having that accountability partner comes in handy, because it's kind of like when you went off to college. For those that did, you're responsible for you going to class. Mom and daddy not there waking you up. They're not making sure you did your homework, went to study, call, etc. So that entrepreneurship, it could be a lonely road or an island, because now you're out there with yourself. Maybe you got some employees, but you're not going to tell them everything you're going through.
Right.
And you may not want to bring that home, because you never know how your spouse may feel. So that's why being supportive and encouraging is important, because that way they know what's going on in your world. Then they can keep you accountable.
Right. If I know he's struggling with getting up at 5 a.m. and he really needs to get up at 5 a.m., I'm holding him accountable by at least setting, some alarm clocks on my side, trying to get him up. It's the little things, but also remember that the caveat to this, okay?
It's always a caveat.
There's always a caveat, is that you only hold them as accountable as they want to be held accountable.
Right.
You're providing support, but that doesn't mean you should be responsible for their ultimate success or failure. So it ain't my fault if you don't wake up and you don't listen to them.
It ain't my fault.
But again, that's the fine line between being supportive and being nagging. So you can only hold that person accountable as much as they want to be held accountable.
Yeah, you have to have your own ambition. So you can't look at your business, and if it's suffering or failing, well, it's my spouse's fault because they didn't wake me up or they didn't come in to work with me, unless that's what they're supposed to do with their role in the business. So you have to look in yourself and get that encouragement from yourself. Let's go to a couple of audience comments. What's going on, Miss LaQuisha Landry? And hey, if y'all are liking this, do us a favor. Please share this video. Turn on notifications for when next time we go live every Wednesday at 7, but click that share button. So we got Miss LaQuisha Landry. Yes, my husband made me get up out of bed. He said, you want to be a boss, be the boss. Get up now, made my coffee and sat it on my desk. I needed him for that. That's what I'm talking about, support, my brother.
That's it.
It's probably Folgers, but it's okay.
That's it. That's what it takes sometimes. Knowing somebody's in your corner, because you're not going to always be feeling it. You're just not.
You're not. What's going on, Jay Sneed? Love it. My partner and I had to learn that either help each other bring in income or help each other apply for the job.
Come on.
There you go.
That's real.
Hand them that pen. What's going on, Miss Shavonda Scroggins, the org boss again, and also holding them accountable to tell you when to rest.
Ooh,
yes,
that's good.
Because you're all about self-care and relaxation. Sometimes you do need to unplug and step away. There's only so much money that can be made in so many hours in a day. I know we all listen to these songs and TV shows and all want to get that money and make it rain, rake it up. But you don't want nobody raking you up into the funeral home
after that heart attack. Say that. You know what? One thing that we just encountered ourselves, Tristen for probably about a month or two was like, CC, I feel it. I'm gonna need a vacation. I need a break. He would say it every so often. I'd be like, I hear you, babe. I hear you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He'd say it again the next month. CC, I'm about to tap out. I need a break. I just got to get away. Okay, I hear you. I'm get something together.
Mm-hmm.
And that last I need a break was like, look.
I'm going with it without you. It could be a vacation or a me-cation, but I'm out the door.
So I took heed and I scheduled us some time away. But you have to listen to your body. You have to, because I'm gonna tell you something. When it shuts down, that's it. You ain't getting no final notice, nothing. It will shut down on you. So yes, I'm glad she made that point. Remind your spouse to relax. Sometimes he goes so much. I'll be like, babe, just shut it down today. Just don't even worry about it. It'll be there tomorrow. Just shut it down. It's okay.
Sometimes it's okay. There tomorrow plus some. Sometimes it's not. So it works out. So just know that, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. There's always tomorrow.
Right.
So take time for your health. So tell them about taking time for self-care.
Well, is that the next one then?
That's the next one.
Okay. Well, I think that's really important that you do that. We've talked about self-care before. Self-care is all about you taking some alone time, putting you first. Here's what we always say. You can't fill up anyone else's cup if yours is empty. Okay.
Right.
So you first, taking care of yourself first, your mental health, your well-being, whether that's going to the gym and releasing some endorphins, that's going to get a massage, if that's going to get your toes done, whatever it is, do it. Take the time and do it regularly.
Can men get their toes done too?
Men can get their toes done. You better let them know. You got pretty toes. You need to take care of your toes, man. That's making marriage great again too.
Yes, indeed.
So taking that time, because what happens is when you take that hour, that 30 minutes, however long you take, you come back so much more filled up and ready to pour out. And that's all a part of being an entrepreneur as well. There's no way that you can grind and not take care of yourself.
You got to, because that lack of energy comes across in your business endeavors. So your employees can sense it, your clients can sense it. Your results will be a direct reflection of your lack of energy. So taking care of yourself, whether it be that gym, like she said, the massages, things like that, that's going to give you that boost, pour back into you so you can pour into your business. And so then it could be more successful for you. So then all of your family can enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right. Because ain't nothing worse than a grouchy entrepreneur.
We know too many of those.
What's our next one?
So help them see the silver lining if they fail. So no one's guaranteed success at all. So sometimes things don't work out. And so if they're not able to be successful in that endeavor, don't use it as I told you so or rub it in their face. Give them the opportunity to be encouraged.
Right.
Show them love, show them support, review at a good time, maybe what some of the things they did wrong, because you never know. There may be another entrepreneur opportunity out there, because unfortunately, 80% of small businesses fail within the first year, but just because one failed doesn't mean that you're not meant to be an entrepreneur. So use that time to encourage each other and support each other and remind them that why they made that change in the first place from being an employee to an entrepreneur, because you wanted that freedom. Right. You wanted the opportunity to make more income for yourself, make an impact on the community and provide jobs for individuals. So keep that in mind as well. And for example, like if someone wants to go to grad school, it doesn't always have to be entrepreneurship. It could be any kind of change. You want to start a nonprofit, go back to school. Remind them that the purpose of it, even if things get hard in school, that, you want to better yourself. So be there and support them. Help them study. Bring that cup of coffee in the morning or in the evening.
And you know what, too? Be flexible. Your spouse may decide at some point or another, I don't really want to do this anymore. And that's not for you to be like, well, shoot, you signed up for it, so let's go. You got to be flexible, because it's a time where a person is trying to decide what's going to be their mark in life? What are they going to leave behind? What's going to be their purpose? So they may decide this really wasn't for me after all. Right. And you may be feeling like, I spent all that time, effort, money, energy helping you. Yeah. But instead of being that way, babe, I understand. Yeah. I'm glad that you decided to, exit out now versus spend the rest of your life doing something you don't like to do.
And being miserable and making the marriage miserable and making the kids miserable.
That's right. So. That's right. And now, ladies, I have a final bonus tip for you.
Bonus.
And here's my bonus tip. And I've shared this before, and it gets mixed reviews, but I'm telling you, it works, at least for the Suttons. Okay. So let's see if it might work for you.
All right.
I really try to live by asking for support and not permission. And let me tell you what that means. That doesn't mean that I go to Tristen and be like, I'm about to do this, so I don't know what you're about to do.
Because you know better.
But what it means is if I desire to do something, I've prayed about it, first of all, before I've even gone to him. I've really taken the time to see if that's really what I want to do. So I've been probably doing it for a little bit to see, is this what I really want to do before I go to Tristen about it? So by the time I come to him, I have come to him with a very clear, logical standpoint of this is what I would really like to do. This is what makes me happy. And this is where I need your support. Okay. Not this is what I really like to do. This is what makes me happy. Do I have your permission to do it?
Yeah, she didn't come in with so what's going to happen is.
I didn't do that. I simply said, this is what I would really like to do. And here's where I need your support. And that's an opportunity for you to say at that time, babe, I would love for you to be able to do that. But right now we really can't afford to do that. We have a lot of other things on our plate. Can maybe we table this for, later on in the year? It's still open for conversation. But as husbands, I can't remember not one time that Tristen has ever came to me and asked me permission to do anything. And I think that it should be equal on both sides with that. He's come to me and let me know his thoughts on what he wants to do. And he still gives me an opportunity to say, hey, babe, yes or no, plus or minuses. Mm-hmm. But we should be able to do the same thing. So women, leave the guilt at the door. Leave the need to feel like you have to ask for permission at the door. Because honestly, you still have a purpose too. Even though you're a wife, even though you're a mother, you still have purpose and you still have dreams and you still have hobbies and things that you would like to do. So you may need to go to your husband and say, honey, this is what I started to decide to do every weekend. Enjoy your children too. They're his kids as well. He should be able to take care of them and look after them as well without you having to ask for permission for him to do so. So I am liberating a few women tonight because I know some of us get in that place where we feel bad because we don't want to have to ask our husbands to, help take care of the kids that they made too. I don't know how that goes. I don't have children, but I'm just helping free you from that. So your bonus tip is ask for support and not permission. How you feel about that, T?
I support you. Even though y'all ate the apple.
Oh, Lord, y'all. Here we go. What is LaQuisha saying right here?
All right. So Miss LaQuisha Landry is saying, love the bonus. Very good tip, especially when you're in a relationship. It's good to understand the difference. Yeah. So good job. We appreciate you always tuning in. All right. Shavonda is telling us to preach, CC on her way to seminary school. I don't know. She'll be coming up with these sermons.
Liberate a few women. That's all I'm trying to do.
She's trying to, Harriet Tubman, I like our marriage. That's what she might be doing with some of y'all. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps up all the tips. So let's talk about what's going on with the Suttons in the city.
Ooh. I don't know what it is about October 21st, but there seems to be everything going on in the city of Houston.
Everything.
So much. So let's start off with our girl Brandy Holmes.
Let's talk about Miss Brandy.
Yes, she has a beautiful birthday celebration that's coming up, and she has decided to bring in love into this birthday celebration. I like this. So it's called Love Talk, and she's going to have a panel of experts, as she likes to call us. Thank you, Brandy, who will be sharing their nuggets, they're golden nuggets from relationships, marriage, kids, all that stuff. So it'll be October 21st. And what time do we have that at?
I believe it's 12 o'clock. So it's brunch at the address.
Nice.
And the link is right there. So it's going to be lovetalksbrunch.eventbrite.com. So y'all be sure to check it out. Come support the Suttons as we're making marriage great again on a panel.
Then we have this Friday, I believe. It's this Friday. Amber Neal, which one is that?
Amber Neal, it's coming up. It went away on me.
Okay, that's okay. Well, anyway, Amber Neal, she has a radio show, and she will be having us this Friday at 3 p.m. to talk about, again, Boss to Bay, give a few more golden nuggets that we weren't able to cover during the show last week. We look forward to sharing more about that topic. Hopefully you'll be able to join us at 3 p.m. again this Friday. We'll be at the radio station for that.
Indeed. Marriage, marriage segment. All right. And then we got the Pinnacle Awards coming up. How many of y'all are looking forward to going to the Pinnacle Awards?
If you're going to the Pinnacle, put on there for us. Let us know that you're going.
Let us know. We got some folks probably watching that will be some nominated. We got the Carters up there. We got Kelly and Troy Taylor. So we're rooting for y'all.
Congratulations on the nomination.
Congratulations. So
that's a big honor, y'all. I don't know what y'all explain to them.
Huge, bigly, huge, and it's not fake news. Huge.
Tell them what the pinnacle is all about, T.
So the Greater Houston Black Chamber has this annual event where they award and recognize the top entrepreneurs in the Black business community. So we're all about all ships rise and supporting the business owners of in our community, and so it's the most prestigious award, I believe, in Houston for entrepreneurs in our community of our culture. So
it's definitely a who's who event. So
definitely a who's who.
Get dolled up.
Get your penguin suit, your tux. Ladies, get your face beat to immaculate perfection with some Fenty, whatever y'all.
You know too much.
Contouring on these days. I'll be eavesdropping on her speakerphone calls. But the link to the Pinnacle Awards is right here. You see how I got that lined up for y'all? Easy. Boom. That's fancy. So be sure to check that out. God blessed me to be able to be a recipient last year. So honored to go back and support this great organization, this great movement. So LaQuisha says she never heard of it. So LaQuisha, if you click on that link that I posted, you will see all the details about it there. So thanks for making that known.
And that's the Greater Houston
Black Chamber.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. So it's time for us to say our pledge.
So I thought you were going to say our prayers now. Okay. But we hope that this quick segment has been helpful for you. We hope that if you're in a place of transition, of change, we hope that you'll take these few nuggets that we've shared and start to apply them. Honestly, a lot of this just all boils down to, again, communication.
It's key.
Really what it boils down to. Life is about taking risks. And some of those risks you shoot big and you win big, and some of them, they're a toss-up.
It's a gamble.
It's a gamble, but you don't want to live life not ever having tried to do some things that are purposeful.
What if Michael Dell never took that risk? What if Steve Jobs never took that risk? What if Bill Gates, Zuckerberg? You know what I'm saying? What if these individuals didn't have a support system? Not all of them were married when they started, but they had someone supporting them. So you never know what you could be diminishing by not replenishing.
Ooh, come on.
Put that in. I'll just be, it's Freestyle Friday in here. So diminishing by not replenishing. So y'all type that in there as well. So let's go ahead and get our pledge.
All right.
Come on. Y'all ready?
Right hand up.
Right hand up. Today, I will commit to being a better person than I was yesterday.
Today, I will be open and honest with myself.
Today, I will be a better communicator.
Today, I will rid myself of negative views of dating and marriage.
Today, I will do my part in making marriage great again.
Again, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight at 7 p.m. every Wednesday with Sitting with the Suttons. Again, we're your hosts, Tristen and CC, and we hope you'll join us again next Wednesday, same time, same place.
Indeed.
Until then, have a blessed week and a great weekend.
And be sure to like this video and share it and follow our page, Tristen CC Sutton. So y'all stay blessed.